be God. And that's by nature. And so, to begin with, this is kind of like the, I know you wouldn't do it tonight, but it's the best time of the year to do it. It's cold out, right? If you went out tonight and you looked up at the sky and it's not cloudy, what do you see? Stars, galaxy, the moon, all these things, and you look at it and you say what? Wow! Right? Or you can go up and you stand on the edge of the Grand Canyon and you look down. You can do it, I won't. What do you say when you see that? How about? Whoa! There you go. Now, how deep it is, right? It's amazing. You look at these things and you say in your heart, wow, there must be a God who made this. Now, is this I don't know if you've gotten into that very far or not, but I always look at that and I say, there's no way that this came about naturally. So I'm not a biologist, but like, I'm going to make sure I have doctors here to make sure I say it the right way. In your cells, there are little micro machines that pull parts of the cell around on little tiny pathways. And they have feet that walk down the pathway and pull something from one spot in the cell to another. They have little micro machines that pump electrons, I believe, is it electrons? In and out of the mitochondria so that one's at a higher pressure than the other. And I'm probably saying it really wrong. They have all these things in there. Even the way that a one-celled creature moves around with the way the appendages in a one-celled creature are attached and the way that they move. In my mind, I look at that and I say there's absolutely no way that these things came about in a natural way. Which says what about things? If it couldn't come about naturally, then they were designed. At the very least, something made all of these things. You look at the stars and you say, there's no way this came about naturally. Something must have made and end up with Christianity. Because it's possible that the Muslim God made this, or the Mormon God, or the whoever God, right? Or Zeus. Who's to say, well, Zeus didn't create, did he? Was it, I can't remember my Greek mythology. It doesn't tell us who God is, just by looking at nature. There's no way to know who the God is who did these things. And so you have people like Elon Musk. Does anybody know who Elon Musk is?
Yes.
Okay, what's Elon Musk say about the world? He looks at everything, he says there's no way it came about naturally, and so he says we're living in a computer simulation. And so the creator is some programmer somewhere who made a computer program and we're too dumb to notice. And there are actually scientists out there examining the way that gas dissipates in a vacuum, looking at nebula and things like that in the sky, to try and figure out if we're in a computer simulation or not. Your tax dollars support that work. There you go. So we don't know who God is by natural knowledge of God. We can look and say there is one, but we can't get to the details.
Now, we had a preemie baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, all the people in our home church with our daughter and gave birth, and she survived. So, you should know that she was there with God.
So, I mean, that your prayers were answered is a way as well. Yes. Yeah, sure. In more ways than one, yes. By calling you a handsome pastor. No, just teasing. Yeah, I mean, and we'll get to that idea here in a minute as well. So, yes, it is. And that's, I'd say in the sense that is in motion and then stood back and watched. And I mean, when you look at a watch, maybe not new watches, you look at an old watch with gears and cogs and all the pieces inside there, you look at it and you say, what? That watch didn't just come about naturally. Someone had to build it. But can you look at the watch that way and just know who the builder was? No. I mean, watch, maybe they signed it. Okay. So, we look at the world and we know there's a God, but we don't know anything about Him. And the Scriptures